Welcome back to Intuitive Investing. I'm your host, Marisa Lee, and I am back with the great Cinnamon Mancini. Cinnamon, thank you for joining us.
Marissa the Magnificent, how are you, my friend?
Good, good. Well, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Cinnamon won't even talk to me privately anymore about crypto because she's like, let's save it for the show. So I'm like, all right, let's just dive in. What do you got?
We've got words. Well, can we start with a card?
Sure.
Can we
Yeah, of
start that
course.
way?
Of
Okay,
course. Yes.
so here we go. We have the deck. Let's just see. So just kind of setting the intention for whatever the communication is going to be today, whatever we're going to share. Hold on a second. Let's see. We got reassurance.
Good.
Oh,
Yes.
about that. That's so great. Okay, so let's look it up.
And people really need that right now because, the average crypto investor, the market's been down for about a year now, and people are getting very discouraged. And I've seen it.
That's what bear markets do. Look, they shake you out. That's what a bear market is designed to do. This is a blood sport. You only get to the other side because you are focused, you have patience, and you've invested in assets that are going to go up over time. Everything is cyclical, right? Even the weather is cyclical. We always get a summer, we always get a fall, we always get a winter, we always get a spring. I mean, that's just the way things go. And to think something different, that is the definition of insanity, right? It's just like, that's just how markets go. Okay, but let's see what
go ahead. Reassurance.
Okay. Definition: to restore confidence, to remove doubt or hesitation from, to relieve from fear, to reassure. Drawing this card should restore confidence. It signifies a yes answer. Let go of doubts and fears and proceed forward. Do not be distracted by people with good intentions. Your confidence must come from within. Only you know the correct action you need to take at this time. This card validates that the right action is occurring. Do not be frustrated by delays. There may be appropriate reasons for them now. New opportunities will present themselves. Timing is very important. Find a friend and give them a big bear hug. Big bear hug. It's
a bear hug in a bear market.
Yes, my witty friend. I love that. Okay, there's incredible healing power in human touch. You'll both feel great. Okay, so how about that?
Love it.
So the market, I did post a video about don't be discouraged. The majority of Bitcoin in cold storage wallets have not moved. Like they're not moving. So this nonsense that's going on in the market is just market manipulation. And it's meant to shake us out, to shake us down. And
do not conform. Sorry, yes. I had to don't conform to that. Do not conform. Yes. They want you to sell your crypto and give up.
Because they're going to take it and they're going to put it in their pocket. Look, there are way smarter people that have been, if you just remember this about the market, every time you win in the market, somebody else is losing. Right? Think about it like that. Say there's two people and they're both invested or curious about the same asset. It's like the one that puts the money in and rides it up and sells it high wins, right? The one that it's high and they FOMO in and then it falls down and their emotions tell them to get rid of it and sell it. Who's winning? The person on the other side, because I'm at the bottom and I'm sweeping up what you're getting rid of because your emotions got the best of you. I mean, it is a blood sport for that reason. If you just always understand that every time you buy, somebody else is losing. Every time you sell, somebody else is winning, or vice versa. There's always another person on the other side of that trade. So if you start to personalize it in that way, I think it can change things. And then I think you just get really savvy about what companies you invest in.
Absolutely.
So, I did post another video just because astrologically speaking, there's like so much going on right now. Energetically, right? Like what is Cinnamon Mancini? Cinnamon Mancini has 6 planets in the 12th house. What is the 12th house? The 12th house is the unseen world, right? Because I've got 6 planets there, I'm really good at seeing what other people can't see and then like shining a spotlight on it. Like that is just who I am and what I do and what I've done, for 56 years. But what was interesting to me is we had full moon in Capricorn, we have Mercury retrograde, and then we have Jupiter coming into Leo, all in the same week. Like, people,
Mm-hmm.
if you understand that on a full moon, the emergency room is going to be packed with everybody and their brother, that shows you right there, energy affects us.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to be paying attention to what energy is affecting us. And really just for the viewers that haven't seen the video that I posted, it's basically like, okay, so Capricorn is now, it's a Capricorn moon. What is Capricorn moon? It's all about intensity. It's asking for action. It's asking for movement. And if you don't know that, you're just feeling like all this heavy energy on you. And it's, if you don't know, and you're just going to feel icky. But the way you get that energy to move is to take action steps. So in that particular video I said, like, get a journal, make a 1 year plan, a 6 month, a 1 month plan, a 6 month plan, a 1 year plan, and then start to take action steps to bring those goals into fruition. That lets the energy come in and around you and through you, and it moves. And then we've got Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Like, Cancer is all about the emotions. And I always laugh, people are like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, don't sign any contracts, like, right? That's the status quo of Mercury retrograde, except for you're looking at somebody whose Mercury is in the 12th house and is in retrograde natally, which means my normal state is like this planet moving forwards, but moving backwards all at the same time in order to get all the energy of any situation as indicators. Right. And so if that's what's happening to everybody out there right now, because your Mercury is not natally retrograde, you're probably like, this feels so uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm coming. I don't know if I'm going. I've got
Mm-hmm.
all these big emotions kind of like all on top of me. It's like, okay, but emotions are meant to tell you something. So pay attention to them. And if an emotion comes and it goes and then it comes back and it stays, it's just that planet really getting you to understand what are those emotions. So you've got more information to move forward. So you've got your Capricorn that you're trying to get the energy to move. It's asking you to get that heavy energy and utilize it and put it in motion. And then you've got your Mercury retrograde that's asking you to help by looking at those emotions. What do you want? What do you want your goals to look like? How does it feel to go after those goals? How are we looking to manifest them in a forward action movement? And then my final favorite. So this is all year long. Leo in Jupiter. And Leo wants to be big and bold and seen and heard and understood. And actually, I don't think Leo really cares about any of those things other than it just roars like the lion and Leo presents himself. But under the good luck planet of Jupiter, of all the planets in our astrology, Jupiter is the most lucky planet. It means where you go, that good luck kind of follows energy as you let it move through you. And I'm going to tell you, when the last little bit of that video, I was like, to my intuitive investing friends, I expect the bulls to run with Jupiter now, in Leo, because this is a time of good luck. It's like what you've been manifesting, the emotions that you've been holding back by not selling, or the emotions that you've held back by buying into something that is now low, and the fear of how is that going to go in the future. It's like all those good things are going to start to come into play with that Leo and Jupiter. So that is exciting to me. So if you want to understand the energy that's going on around you, there you go. Your girly pop just broke it down for you.
I love that. I love that. But one of the things that you told me recently that I love is you got a message in your dreams about Bitcoin going up. And I get messages too. So when you called me and you told me that, I'm like, I knew
It
it
was
was
true.
valid. I knew it's going to happen. Where are we at with Bitcoin today? I haven't even looked at it.
I
You got
think
me
the
up. You
last,
got me up all early today.
yeah. Well, I think, yeah, we're at 61.5. I
Ugh.
mean, we were down at 58 just a couple
Mhm.
days ago. So, I mean, that's fantastic. So this is the thing. I wasn't exactly in dreaming. I was more like between the worlds. For me, it like always when I get information from the spirit world, I get that wake up call around 2 or 3 in the morning. And it's kind of like,
Hmm.
excuse me, I'm sleeping, but I'm awake. And sometimes I'll get up and go downstairs. And sometimes I'll just lay in bed and I'll just be like, okay, spirit, what do you want me to know that you can't tell me during the busy day? And I saw and I'll tell you, I think the reason I saw it that way is because I was actually considering maybe liquidating some of my Bitcoin, like in my day-to-day life. Like I was thinking about that, and or I was getting ready to think about that. And I think that that message preemptively was like, don't do it. It's not right now. If you ask me what my intuition says about the market, we're going to stay in this sideways channel. We're just are. And I think we're going to fluctuate below the 200-day moving average. And I think maybe we'll go up to 61, 62. I think we're going to kind of stay in that range. So, my goals are not everybody else's goals. If you're
Hmm.
looking at the price of Bitcoin to determine when do you get in, um, well, I can tell you what I
Ne-
actually
ne-
did.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what I
I was
actually
gonna
did.
say now is a great time to buy. I mean, I think Bitcoin under $100,000 is a steal
A
if you're gonna
hundred
hold
percent.
if you're gonna hold it long term. And
Yes.
in the $60,000 range, I mean,
Yeah, but for your listeners that are trying to accumulate like 0.001, right? The difference between buying at 58,000 or 54,000 and 61,000 is huge. Like that's
I
a
don't think it's gonna
huge.
go down to 54. I just don't.
Well,
I
I
think
liquidated I basically, so this is what I did. Prior to all this nonsense of the week that we're in, which was last week, but we didn't film last week. And I didn't want to
right.
talk to you about what I was doing because I just wanted to keep it secret. But I literally went in and I liquidated all of my retirement accounts into a cash position. Not my brokerage accounts, not anything in cold storage wallets, but all of my Roth IRA accounts, all of my retirement accounts. I liquidated it all into cash. And you know, do I see that Bitcoin is now running up? Do I now see that MicroStrategy is now running up? Could I feel a certain kind of way because when I sold out of it low and now it's higher. I could feel that way, but I just don't. Like, I just don't feel that way because there's something inside of me that's saying, look it, things are not what they appear to be. The Clarity Act has not passed. Without the Clarity Act, there is no regulation, which means that what's going on in the markets is pure manipulation. You cannot have all the ETFs bleeding out the way they're bleeding out. Oh, I saw a chart. I can't remember if it was last night or this morning about the number of whales that are buying at 58,000, right? Like, that's incredible. Bitcoin was meant for the people, and now it is coming to the people. I never wanted Larry Fink or Jamie Dimon or any of traditional finance to have the Bitcoin. To heck with you guys. You guys are the ones that got us in the 2008 housing crisis. Like, just stay off of our money, stay out of our retirement accounts. That was given to Satoshi. The mathematical equation that's Bitcoin was given to Satoshi Nakamoto for the people to keep us free so that our daily life force energy could be banked in something that could not be manipulated by other men, by the government and things. And so it looks to me like things are playing out as it should be playing out. Um, and I'm also super aware that the AI world is coming to us so, so fast. And I have no doubt in my mind, like, oh, let's look and see what SpaceX is at today. SpaceX girly pop is at 158. What did it open at? Like 135. And then like how high did it
Yeah,
go?
it went up over $200, and
Yeah, we talked about it.
that it dropped. And I told people just wait. Like I really feel like it's going to drop significantly. I think it's going to drop maybe even a little bit more than this. So
But you just have to think. It just makes sense. There's
mhm.
no no money being made. This was
Yeah.
just like a crowdfunding,
Hmm.
basically, in a financial world. Like he just needed money to go build his rockets, to build, everything to get into space. That's all we've done. We've got years before we're turning a profit. Now, will
Hmm.
Elon do it faster than anybody else on the planet because one of his superpowers is building manufacturing plants? Yes. But still, we've got some time to work with this. I think I even said on your show, I'm not going to buy now. I'm going to wait. Either it's going to go up and it's going to split and I'll get in at that point, but I have to see profits. I have to know
Hmm.
that things are built and profits are coming down the line in order for me to jump in. Because at this time, there's just I'd rather stay in things that I trust. And
Right.
right now, I trust Bitcoin, I trust MicroStrategy, I trust Tesla, and I trust Solana. Those are my top four. And that is the big reason I scaled back in my Roth. And that is not financial advice, but that's my strategic plan. It's the things that I know that can't be affected by an AI bubble, that can't be or not being manipulated. Now, Solana being manipulated by Binance, that's a whole other conversation. But at the end of the day, it's still way undervalued for what it is, that they can play games with it all they want, but it's still so far undervalued to what it actually is in the
Yeah.
economy that I'll let it ride. I've got time on that. But that's how I'm playing the market today.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I think we're going to finally see some good news with the Clarity Act coming up here soon. The Senate's
Okay.
meeting on the 17th.
Yep.
And what they're going to debate is they're going to debate should the president be able to make a profit off of crypto? And I'm like, oh, come on. Can we talk about like something else seriously? Like they're just delay, 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 and whatever. To me, it's a stupid argument. They make so much money off the stock market. Like, who cares at this point? Let's just get things, rolling.
Mhm.
I do see it passing. Do you see it passing?
I I I'll tell you like this. I didn't know it was coming on the floor in July. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say yes, but the truth is, I really just don't know, Marissa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the answer to that, and I'll tell you why. Be okay, so let me do it from this perspective. So I would say, I'm gonna pull my cards actually. I would say that actually I'm asking spirit, is that Clarity Act gonna pass? And the first thing that comes into my mind is Warsh. And what does Warsh have to do with things? The only thing that I can hear from Spirit is that Warsh has something to do with it because he is going to raise interest rates. If he raises interest rates and he stabilizes the economy to where we don't have inflation, then I don't know how that would affect the Clarity Act.
Hmm.
So, you know what my final answer is going to be?
Hmm.
Is that the Clarity Act is going to pass, but I don't know that it's going to pass this year. I think
Hmm.
if it doesn't pass in July, which I'm not sure that it will pass in July, then I think it's going to wait until next year. And we've got the union here. So it sounds to me like perhaps we're waiting for oh, that's interesting. Then perhaps that means that people behind the scenes are the ones that are accumulating the Bitcoin.
Of course they are. They're
Yeah.
pumping and dumping it all the time.
So
Yes,
they're waiting.
institutions. I get this whale watcher like notification
Yep.
every day. They're making big purchases and they're selling and
Yep.
they're making hand over fist on
So
this. So
once
I'm
they
like,
feel that they have enough, that
mm-hmm,
signing that Clarity Act means that they're going to make money, but just in a different way because they've hedged their bets now. Then Clarity Act will pass. So there's
mm,
some union between the politicians and the bankers to where everybody is secretly, quietly taking care of themselves before
mm-hmm.
they sign on the dotted line.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they might need just a little bit more time, but how that affects Warsh and raising interest rates, I'm really not quite sure yet. Other than the benefit to Warsh raising interest rates means that now our bonds, we get more money for our bonds, which we can then pay our debt. So if that's happening, then perhaps the people feel more free, right? Because yeah, it's more expensive to buy a house or to get a business started, but money, you're not losing the value of your dollar because inflation is getting capped because interest rates are raising, and that's how we're paying our national debt. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to pass this month. I hope it does. You know, Leo.
I don't know if it's going to pass this month
Okay.
necessarily, but I do think it's going to pass like semi soon, within the next couple months max, is what I think.
Something something is going to ignite our economy. I'm going to tell
Hmm.
you that
Oh yeah.
100% because Leo in Jupiter says I want to live out loud, right? But maybe because we've got a whole month of Mercury retrograde where there's really not a lot of contracts, or maybe that's to our benefit, right? Maybe a backwards contract, right, does get go via the Clarity Act, does kind of get looked at and passed in some kind of way. I actually don't think so. I think we've got a whole month of sitting in our emotions and trying to understand something about ourselves, something about our world. And so I just don't see the financial markets don't like to do things when they don't understand what's going on. And a time of Mercury being retrograde is not a time where politicians and bankers can say for certain this is what's going on. So no, I don't think it's good for all those
So
reasons. I don't think.
when does Mercury retrograde officially end?
I think it's like July 23rd, maybe, or July 27th. I don't know. I should watch my own
Okay.
video. I just don't remember.
I should watch
It's
my own
July
videos.
20th. It's July 20th something.
Okay.
So
All right.
when does it hit the floor? The 19th?
17th.
The 17th? And then how long do they like filibuster or talk about it? Like for a week? Because that might kick us out of
I'm not
Mercury.
sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Because that
exactly.
that Leo in Jupiter tells me that the economy is going to get supercharged and that we're
Hmm.
going to start to hit a but you know what else? I did see something where we are printing money. And printing money is not good for the value of the dollar, but we just printed a whole ton of money and it's hitting the pathways. So, um, you
Well,
know,
you have to think too, we're coming up to midterm elections. They're going to inflate the financial markets. They are. And it's going to be a little bit before, right?
mhm,
I feel like there's going to be maybe two different spikes coming up here.
yeah.
So,
I mean, it's gonna I'm trying to just sit with it a minute and just try to see how it was all going to lay out. And this is what I think. That AI bubble is real. It is absolutely real. Like I really wanted, what is Micron today? Because those are the ones I look at. I look at Micron. Wow, Micron's at 985. So that's dropped. AMD's at 516. That's dropped. SpaceX is at 158. And I don't think that when I say that there's going to be an AI bubble, I'm predicting that there will be an AI bubble because nobody's making money yet. And you don't have the infrastructure to hold the demand. And so, you know, those buildings that they like, if they're made of concrete and then they just tilt them up, they're like these big, huge buildings and they just tilt them up. It's like that's how I see the economy. So, you know how those tilt up buildings go, right? We just kind of tilt them up,
mhm.
but they all have to like lock into place. Like that's kind of how I see the economy. There's this huge need. Everybody from cardiologists that are wanting their AI to look at films to economists that want to understand what's going on macro and microeconomically so that they can make their investments, to people like me that just kind of talk to my AI about everything, personal, professional, and everything in between. That demand for AI on everyone all at the same time when the building is still trying to go up, the infrastructure is still trying to be put into place. I think the weight of that is going to flatten it. It's going to crush it. Like the railroad, right? They started to back in the day, they got the railroad up and it totally flattened it because
Mm.
the demand and the money did not match. So I absolutely believe that we are headed towards an AI bubble. I think smart money got into the AI world and they're going to start getting out. When they start getting out of it, I think they're going to start going back into the safe haven. And Bitcoin, to me, is the safe haven. Some of those undervalued assets like Solana, which is the blockchain that's working like 98% of all activity across all blockchains, they're gonna pick those assets that are really going to be grounding in the future for the agentic world that we're building. That's just the way that I see it. And because people are so predictable over time, they're trying to beat each other, right? That's what they're trying to do. Like when I started and I said, look, you just remember everybody on the other side, when you make a win, somebody else has lost that money. That money that you won, if you win $1 million because you made a good call, somebody on the other side or a couple of somebody's collectively lost $1 million on the other side. If you just understand that it's a human game that we're playing, that's why like I don't like to play that game. Even though I can read energies, I don't like to play that game. I really rather just stick to my 4 favorite assets and just DCA into them. Right now, like I said, I'm in a cash position because I'm pretty sure that AI world is going to crush things and then it's going to get reorganized again. And then it will start to boom up with tokenization. I think that's the next wave that's coming.
Absolutely. No, I think it's good advice. I do. I've had a lot of people contact me over the last couple months and
Mm.
told me that they've bought large amounts of Algorand. And
Oh,
that makes me proud. It makes me
nice.
proud. It makes me
Nice.
happy because I'm like, I know they're going to end up in a really, really good situation. So,
Beautiful.
and it went down to 8 cents recently. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And honestly, like it's part of me was happy, but another part of me was kind of like,
Yeah,
like
but we're in a bear market,
I
Marissa. We're in
know.
a
No,
bear
I
market.
know. I know.
If
I
we're
know.
in a bear market, like that play on that I got on near protocol, like
Hmm.
that was luck. That was straight luck. And you know what? I sold out of that. I mean, I have a call order in on one of them to get out of what I bought into it. The last point I think is like $2.10. And the other one I got into, I made a little bit of money on that. And that one filled the order to get out of it. But when I tell you in all my retirement accounts, I am liquidating into cash and I'm going to let all this nonsense finish filtering out. And and so the point is that we are in a bear market. You can't if I got lucky because I bought in near protocol at the right point in time, like I'm a medium, I'm like tuned into spirit and we get together and do these shows. So maybe spirit's just giving me a clue in on something. Plus I've got some technical analysis. I just got lucky. Sometimes people get lucky, but in a bear market, the best luck you have is building your bag so that
Hmm.
when the bulls come to town, they run. Millions are made in the bull market. In the bear
Hmm.
market, we stack up what we have, we fortify what we have, and we prepare to run.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
that's just the
You,
way.
you know, there's two cryptos that if you really watch closely, they kind of move significantly and you could trade in and out and make a ton of money. And it's Morpho and Near. Those are the
Oh,
two that I've noticed that, if you
okay,
really pay attention, you could make some good
nice.
money on those two. Hold on, my dog wants to say hi. Oh,
Oh,
this is Ginger.
Ginger, Ginger, hi, love,
Yeah,
love.
yeah,
What a
yeah.
sweet thing.
Yeah, this is my baby. This is
Oh
my
yeah,
baby.
she's
Yeah.
just she's keeping the fort, secured, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, she look
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah, she's a big baby. I love her.
Yeah, she's a love, love.
Yeah, she just got her own calendar.
Oh, she did.
She did.
I didn't get a copy of that calendar.
Well, I'll have to send you one.
Nice. I would love
Mhm.
it. I would love it. Then maybe I'll make one for Solana. Look at she's over here just
Oh,
crashed up.
Solana needs her own calendar.
She
Absolutely.
does.
She
Listen,
does.
Solana. Solana calendar. Yeah. Very good.
Mm.
Well, what are you thinking about the market? What's your how are you feeling? What's your
Woo.
vibe?
All right, baby. I'm gonna put you down. Um, I'm thinking it's gonna go up soon. We are totally in a bear market. I'm getting a lot of like people that are kind of coming at me a little bit angry. And that always happens when the market's been down for a certain period of time. And I get it. I get it, right? Um, We just need to be patient. We're waiting on the Clarity Act is what it comes down to. And I think that it's going to pass in a little bit. Is it going to pass in July? No guarantees, obviously. We're waiting on politicians. Anything political, you can't depend on when it comes to timing, because everybody's got their own special interest. I wish we could just fire all the politicians. Like, seriously, do we really need them? We don't. They're useless. They're not really working in the best interest of the people. A lot of them aren't. And some people will argue with me on that, but I'm not willing to have a political argument with anybody. I'm not trying to put stuff out there politically, but I don't like them, so
well,
whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes,
so I've been getting a lot of downloads about like world events and things coming up. I had that dream about Louisiana and Oklahoma.
Yes.
And recently Louisiana had a tropical storm, Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was watching the Weather Channel when this happened, and they were saying that an El Nino is coming up. So El Nino. It's where the ocean rises in temperature.
Okay.
And hurricane season is just starting, and that made me sick to my stomach.
Your favorite.
I hate hurricanes. I know.
I know.
I'm concerned Louisiana is going to get hit pretty hard. I'm hoping that this tropical storm that just hit was enough, and that was what I had a dream about. But there was a period at the end of January into February, I think it was, where I was having dream after dream after dream about all this crazy weather coming our way. And I put it out in my crypto reports.
Yeah.
And recently in Illinois is number 1 in tornadoes this year. And there was one that touched down like a mile from my house, and I was actually texting with you when this happened. So this was interesting. And you're like, "Oh, no, you're fine." We were getting down in the basement at this point, and the sky was green. Wind was crazy. Furniture outside was flying everywhere. I mean, it was nuts. And you're like, "Oh, your house is totally fine." And I've never really thought that my house was going to be hit by a tornado until that day. And you were right; it didn't touch down by me. It was about a mile away. But
that's still so scary.
It is. It is. Well, and then we had another one, like I would say maybe 2 weeks after that touched down near my house. And I didn't even hear the alarms go off, the tornado warning alarm, because it's very loud out here. And so, yeah, it's gotten weird in Illinois for sure. I've never seen the weather so windy. I don't know. I'll say that. So there's something weird with the weather, right? Everybody's having bad weather. The wind is picking up all across the country in an abnormal way.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like earthquakes across the coastal regions are going to happen, like even more. Like, look at what happened in Venezuela. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad for those people that were trapped in some of those housing units and in those high rises. We're going to see more of that. We're going to see more of that coming up here. So we've got some weird weather patterns, right? And then we also have some stuff going on, with international conflicts. I'm so grateful that we are not as involved in the Ukraine-Russia situation that we were before. I'm glad that we've kind of taken a step back and let them battle it out. That's a mess. I don't feel like it's affecting our financial markets here in the US the way that it was when Trump was more involved in that. So I'm grateful that, that's there. It seems like the Iran stuff has kind of calmed down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's like some, tit for tat kind of thing, but I think look, I don't want to minimize anybody that's being hurt out there, because I'm pretty sure that some drones made some attacks and there's some loss of life, and I definitely do not want to minimize that. But in comparison to the heat in the way it was at one point, it's definitely like slowed down quite a bit. I just think it's like so indicative of human nature, right? It's like, okay, we're in peace talks, right? Like everybody knows that we're in peace talks. The United States and the government, of Iran, we're in peace talks. But at the same time, shots are still being fired on both sides. Like, who is the top negotiator? Like, how do I want to say this? Who is managing the mismanagement of the humans? I agree. There is no one to say, hey, like a parent, say, hey, cut that out. We're in negotiations. Stop picking. Like, it's like two kids, right? They're pulling hair and they're jabbing in the side. It's like, stop. There's no oversight committee for this. And
it's all innocent people getting
Yes.
getting hurt. And
They
I'm
just
like, they're
their
hitting
job.
residential buildings. I'm like, what's wrong with the world? Who is
Yeah.
leading? Look at all these different countries where there's all this violent conflict. What
Yep.
happened to talking things out? Why are we doing this? This is 2026.
Well, I
Like,
think I
let's
have an
grow
answer.
up.
I think I have an answer to that.
Hmm.
Because in all of humanity, the pendulum swings back and forth, right? To the good, to the challenging, from the challenging back to the good, and all the, like a pendulum, it swings back and forth. So we've clearly hit the apex of this side over here of the the challenging, right, which could be the evil, but there's really no evil. There's just really opportunities to learn and grow and evolve into something different, right? And so now this pendulum's starting to swing back the other way. It's like the destruction of humanity has happened. It's occurred, right? We all feel that change is around us. I mean, I think everybody in all their homes would feel change. They don't have the money they used to have. They perhaps
Yeah.
because they don't have the money, they don't have the friends to do the things with the friends. They're not taking the vacations they want to take. They're not learning the things they want to be learning because it's like constant chaos. Even if it's a low murmur, constant chaos, but that pendulum is starting to swing back, and like even you talk about the weather, like how beautiful is
Hmm.
that? Because like it's definitely an issue that in the United States, there is a polarity in the United States. And either extreme on either side makes me want to pull my hair out. Like
Hmm.
I don't like
Yeah.
either extreme side. I just want to be
Hmm.
girly pop in the middle, you know? Let's be fiscally conservative and let's just be socially liberal. To me, that's the
Yes.
answer,
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
But it's
For
not, but
sure.
crazies on both sides
Okay.
are
Hmm.
are ruling the world.
Okay.
And oh, look at Ginger came
She
back to
is
uh,
insistent on being on my lap today. Okay, sit down,
okay,
baby.
okay. um
So,
so I think that all of that starts to get resolved, and Jupiter in Leo feels favorable to me. It just
mhm,
does, especially against the background of Neptune and Aries really shining down on all of Earth, which is that we're all intuitively trying to marry two worlds, that world and the world we live in together. And so with change, you grind something together and that's where the change happens. And I think
mhm,
we're getting closer to that change.
yeah.
And maybe part of it is just making way for a whole new species. Like people probably don't want to see it this way, but AI is a new species, and we
Mm,
humans created a new species. And there's going to be a whole world that this new species is going to be living in. And I mean, at least that's the way that I see it. That's a big change for people, and they can feel it. We can all feel it. And so maybe just grinding to accept that change is coming and then try to figure out how to negotiate your way in and through it. And we do it here by embracing the change and the future as it's coming, right? We try to understand blockchain technology, tokenization, real world assets. We try to understand these things because we can see that agentic world coming. We understand it, so we're trying to educate people about the world that's coming. But that's kind of really what's happening. So all of this earthquake and tornadoes and war. It's just, to me, it's all a part of the same friction that
mhm.
ultimately leads to change.
It's chaos.
And then
It's
peaks
chaos.
out.
It's definitely shaking up everything, like the
Yeah.
financial market stability, like,
Yeah.
but it's
Yes.
not it's not necessarily good. It's like, can't we have positive change without so many negative events? Can't why is that so hard? Why is that so I
I
don't
think
understand.
I think it's hard because people like to be comfortable and they will be comfortable in things that are not good for them. And I think our true nature as spirit is to know what's coming, right? Because like if we're at home in that other dimension, we don't change so rapidly. That's why we come to human world where there's polarity, because that friction creates change. And I think that maybe humans forget that. Maybe they forget that that friction, that conflict has a purpose, which is to seek peace from the chaos. Instead, people get comfortable in the chaos and then they just sit and stir up more chaos instead of problem solving into a place of peace. And I'd like to
Hmm.
think that what we do here on your channel is to have understanding that takes us from the chaos to the peace.
Yeah,
And
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Well, so one of the things that I see happening worldwide is I see a lot of leaders that are involved in these war situations no longer being in charge in one way, shape, or form, right? And if you want a list of that, you got to read my July crypto report, which will be published by the time this video is published. So you got to go to patreon.com/crypto psychic. I put out a lot of world predictions about what I see happening politically. And because everything ultimately affects the financial markets, right? And there's this whole thing about karma where, when you're making decisions, whether you're justified or not, and it's taking the lives of other people, there is something having to
yes.
do with karma that's tied to that. And I see it coming back to quite a few people that are running big countries, doing things maybe they shouldn't or shouldn't be doing. And they will no longer be in charge at some point. So
Well,
I see
well,
big changes coming for a lot of countries. I feel like the universe is sick and tired of everybody acting like a tyrant,
mhm.
and it's time for peace. It really is. It's time for peace. We need to stop trying to take over countries. We need to stop trying to, control everything. I see a lot of change in world leaders. So,
Yeah. Well, and just to kind of speak to that a little bit, like I agree with everything you just said. Karma is definitely, you and I have had private conversations about karma, right? And I've shared with you that I would rather let the universe dole out karma in
mm-hmm,
some of the worst ways, right? That I
mm-hmm,
have experienced pain, without my, like, just walked into it, just
mm-hmm,
totally randomly walked into it. And I've shared with you, I would rather not retaliate. I would rather let the universe, in whatever way the universe sees to neutralize that energy. Maybe the universe sees that I did something in a past lifetime, or I did something back down the timeline that needed to be neutralized with the situation.
mm-hmm,
Maybe the karmic experience is coming in the future for the person, right? Because in my mind, karma says whatever you experience on one side of the coin, you have to experience on the other side of the coin, right? So if you got into a jealous rage and hurt someone on one side of the coin, then that means you
mm-hmm,
have to be put in a situation that could take you into a jealous rage. That's what the other side of the coin says. It won't be in the same way. It won't be with the same person. It'll be something completely different because the whole point is to learn and grow and become better tomorrow than what we were today. So to me, that's the definition, of karma. So I
mm-hmm.
completely agree with everything you just said. If it's the universe's will, if what you're picking up is that the universe sees that there's an imbalance in the world and now it's going to come in and make right the other side of that coin, hey, beautiful, beautiful. Like we'll take it. So, okay.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to like totally have your back on that one. I wanted to jump into something different because I had read an article last night about Edward Snowden.
Mm,
And I'm kind of like on the fence with him. Oh,
mm-hmm,
like because there's parts of me that as a Marine that you just don't break ranks. I don't care what it is. It's always above your pay grade. Even if what's happening is wrong, you use your chain of command and let your chain of command deal with it. But that I'm speaking as an enlisted person, clearly, right? So in one way, I can see that the things that he did from that perspective were not proper. But then from the other perspective, which is he was a whistleblower, right?
mm-hmm.
He put his whole life on the line to tell a truth, and he has now been exiled. So like I'm so like all over it. But I'm pretty sure that Trump is going to pardon him. And
That's awesome.
I don't know why he didn't do that like day one when he freed crypto guy, which his name is eluding me right now.
Oh, the Binance guy, right?
No, not CZ, the other one, the one that he came back from Silk Road days. His mom, Trump talked about him in Tennessee. If anybody watching this knows who we're talking about, not Assad. What is his name? But put it in the comments below. His mom came to the crypto convention, the Bitcoin convention in Tennessee, in
Hmm.
Nashville with Trump and spoke about her son being freed.
Hmm.
And Trump did that like in the first 100 days. He promised that, and he did fulfill that promise. But I don't know why he didn't do the same thing with Snowden.
I agree. I think what Edward Snowden did
Mhm.
was so incredibly helpful to the entire world, right? Knowing that, the government has this technology that where
Yes.
they can listen to everything that you do, everything that you
Yes.
say. I believe there's technology that can even tap into your thoughts, okay? Through the Wi-Fi. There's patents for it. It's disgusting.
I'm
But
like,
anyway,
good luck, because I only think for spirit.
but I do think he should have been pardoned. However, I think he's safer in Russia. I really do. Let's say
You
Trump
think
pardons
so?
him. Oh, yeah. Let's say Trump pardons him. He comes back to the US and we get a totally
Mhm.
new administration in. He's still going to be at risk. They haven't forgotten what he did. He's safer in Russia. He needs to stay there. And I don't wish anything bad upon him. I think he's a hero. I really do. I think
Yeah,
he's wonderful,
yeah.
but I think he's safer in Russia. And I also think that there's some people too, like Spencer Pratt. You
Mhm.
saw what happened in California with his election, right? Did you pay attention to that at
I,
all?
you know what? I really didn't. I just heard via my children. That's like more something they're into. Um, so maybe I mean, I know Karen Bass is the
Hmm.
mayor, and I know that I don't want to say that word, but she's not, I don't think that she worked on behalf of the Angelinos. She
I
wasn't
agree.
even in country when those fires were going on, and she didn't drop what she was doing and come back immediately.
Hmm.
That's a problem. But that's as much as I know. And then Spencer
No.
Pratt tried to come up and go against her in a vote
Yeah, I
tonight.
think they rigged the election. I really do. I don't think that they got a fair election. And
Mhm.
that's concerning when you have a big city like that is having some questionable things happen with elections. Um, yeah, I think Spencer Pratt is in danger. And then they burned his office. His office started on fire after that. Oh, and he came out pretty hot and he posted a video where he's like, I've got a recording from somebody's employee that's gonna destroy them. I mean, I was like, whoa, go Spencer. Yes, we
You
need
know,
more people like him. Well, but here's the thing: when
yes.
when there's questionable elections, which I think there is at a state level and a local level. I know we've had the federal thing, but they've passed some laws to help with that. We
Mhm.
need voter ID at the end of the day. This is not complicated. Show your freaking ID. Thank you. Have a nice day. Paper ballots. No
Mhm.
elect. Like this can be very simple, but they make it difficult. And so any politician that's not for, let's say, the Save America Act, to me is a compromise politician. They're not
Put
working
it
in
on the
as
blockchain.
yeah, no. Oh, there you go. I
Put
like
it on
that.
the
There you
blockchain.
go.
Yeah.
I love that. I
You
love
know,
that.
I do want to speak to California because I grew up in a little town called Bellflower, and I went to Downey High School, which
Mhm.
is like 30 minutes outside of Los Angeles, right? The Carpenters lived, Karen and Richard Carpenter lived in Downey, California. Karen had passed away, but I went to Richard Carpenter's wedding at the country club in my teen years. So I know that area very well. I am a Republican, which I mean, like, I don't know if I could say that, but I'm not like, when I tell you that I am socially liberal, but
Mhm.
fiscally, conservative,
Conservative.
like, that's
Mhm.
just who I am. But I grew up in Ronald Reagan era,
Mhm.
and that's the California that I know. Now, the only Ronald Reagan area that I know of that it still exists in California is in Orange County.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's pretty much gone. Ronald Reagan beliefs as far as it pertains to the state of California, like, and I'm just thinking about my own family members. I'm just thinking about the people that I know that still live there. So if you kind of understand that mentality is going to do whatever, just like the crazies on the other side. There's crazies on both sides that are going to break ranks and rules and not do things ethically because they just want to be heard. They just want to be seen. They just want what they want, and they'll do anything to meet their needs. And I think that's where the state of California at this point. They'll do anything, they'll say anything on both sides that will just destroy peace for the people living because they love the chaos.
Yeah. Well,
So I think
when it comes to politics, it's so difficult. It's like, can we just get people representing the people, working for the people, not saying they're going to do this and talking this big game? Because I see that a lot with these politicians. They talk out. They're smooth talkers. They say everything. Oh, we need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. And I'm going to listen to everything you say. But at the end of the day, what kind of laws am I passing? What am I voting for? You're not voting for anything good.
I mean, have it in California. California is a democratic state.
Yeah.
So if you want democratic beliefs and thoughts and ideas, live in California. And if you don't, do what I do and get out. Go somewhere different. Like that is just the reality of it. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't necessarily think that there was. Do I think there was voter fraud? Yes. Do I think it was to the degree that Karen Bass got 93% and Spencer Pratt got like 7%? No. Do I think that most people in California wanted Karen Bass even though she was out of country? Yes, because they just hate the other side so much. They don't want the other side in power. And I think that California has got more of that in there, and they are accurately represented in the state and in the Senate based on how they think. So if you live in California and you don't think that way, then you kind of got to go somewhere else if you want to have peace.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when there's questionable elections, how do you really know how the people as a majority feel?
Yeah, but
I think there's question. I think there's I do. I think that there's some question. Well, yeah, I do. I think there's some questionable things about the elections, especially in California. I think there's a lot of questionable things about the elections in Illinois. I've personally experienced some. Like, let me just give you an example. This was a couple years ago. This was not a presidential election. It was I don't know what it was for, Senate, House, something like that. So I go to vote, and I shortened my signature, and they had my signature on file. I give them my address, and so I signed this card, and they looked at my signature compared to the one that they had on file, and because I shortened it up, they were like, "Hold on, we need to have somebody check this," and I'm like, "Okay." So they had 3 people look at this, comparing my signatures. I'm like, what are you guys, handwriting analysis? Why don't you just look at my ID? Like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't. There's like signs everywhere in this place, like dozens of them. You do not need an ID to vote. And I'm just sitting there like, what's going on here? It's all funny business. It's junk to me. I don't trust the election. So I don't know what the majority of people think. I really, really don't. So I don't base it off of election results personally, but that's just me. And I try to kind of think outside the box. I don't conform to anything. And I wouldn't say that I represent as a Democrat or a Republican in any way, shape, or form. I'm for the people. Who is going to really work for the people? And that's maybe where I kind of clash with some people, because I don't believe that certain people that are elected that like have a really good reputation are really doing what's in the best interest of the people that elected them, so.
No, yeah, definitely. All of the above. All of the above.
Well, anyways, so moving forward, crypto is going to get better. This is a great time to be buying. Accumulate as much as you can. Bitcoin is a freaking steal right now. What is this? Yes, reassurance. Come on, guys. We are in the final stretch of crypto being down. We really are. It's not going to be a whole lot longer. I really think we're going to see some significant changes, and it's going to be worth it. So, I know the market's been down for about a year now, but we're gonna see some good stuff coming up here soon. So hang in there.
As soon as the Clarity Act gets passed, everything gets legitimized. And newsflash, if we don't do it in the United States, they will start doing it in other countries, and we will follow what other countries lay out for us. So one way or another, like it's gonna happen. Like we are going to get clarity. Whether whether we can come off our gridlock and come to a resolution in the United States, or whether we subjugate that to another country that's a little bit more motivated to take the lead because they don't have so much infighting. One way or another, we will get clarity. This will become resolute.
Mm-hmm. It will. Taiwan recently passed their version of the Clarity Act. And
Did
so,
they?
yeah, and so did Japan. And I'm just sitting there like, how is everybody ahead of us? Right? Like, seriously, come on,
Too
guys.
much
Like,
infighting. Too much infighting. Too many chiefs
yeah.
and not enough Indians.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, that's so true. So true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can
Sometimes you
we?
just got to believe in the cause and not yourself. You got to put yourself to the side and just get on the side of the cause that's pushing for the right
Mhm.
reasons in the right way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we can all pray for a leader that can bring us together.
That would be, I pray for world peace every single night
Oh,
for
I love
every single country. I mean,
that.
to
I
me,
love
it's
that.
just like to me at this point, war is a
Mhm.
lower intelligence level option. It really is. It's like, how smart are you? How stupid are you? Like, come on, let's just stop with the physical stuff. Like, no,
Oh,
let's talk.
yeah.
Let's talk. But anyways, I don't know.
I
Is there anything?
Palantir. I just wanted to look at Palantir. Palantir's trading at 129 today, and I was eyeballing it like a steak dinner at like 108 earlier this week. But I told you I just can't. I
I know.
want the part of me that's financial sees it as a value. Like even still at 130, Palantir is the true value. I
Hmm.
believe. It's just not something ethically. It's just not something I want to invest in.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyway, just thought I'd share.
Well, isn't that more U.S. based too?
It is. It is.
Hmm.
And it has everything to do with fighting, with drones and
I know.
technology,
Everything is drones. Yeah.
understanding where things are. So it deletes the opportunity, or it reduces the opportunity for loss of human life.
Hmm.
But I've had my
Does it
finger.
though? When you're taking drones and you're running them into residential high rises, does it
Yeah.
really prevent the loss of life? I
And
don't
see,
know. I don't think
that's
so.
the point. I just don't want to be in that chaos
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
So that's why I don't. But do I think that there's a good opportunity, for your listeners out there that are just see things differently, and they're looking to invest in something, maybe not even long term, like probably in the next year, I could see that getting, this is not financial advice, but $200 a share. Like I don't even know what the high was, but that was up there for a while, maybe up over 200. I don't know, maybe I could bring it up. But yeah. Anyway, it just made me think of that. I mean, for different strokes for different folks. If that's
Yeah.
something you're
Yeah.
interested
Yeah.
in, it's probably a good time. And you know what actually I would do? I really think we're going to go up, and then there's going to be a slight swing back. I just
Hmm.
do. I'm not sure that we're completely out of the $50,000 range, because whales are accumulating, and
Hmm.
whales get what whales want when we don't have clarity.
Yeah. No, that's true. And with a $2 trillion market cap, this is such an easy market to manipulate if you have money, if you're a
Yeah.
bank, if you're an institution, right? This is easy peasy. This is easy money. So we gotta, over time it's gonna start sustaining at higher levels, right? And they're not gonna have the power that they once had. The banks and institutions are going to slowly lose control. They know it.
They are already.
And
It's already happening.
they know it. And
Yeah.
so
Hang on for
power
the
to power to the people.
Yes, I love that for us. That's the pendulum swinging back, right? Every scenario, the pendulum swings from one side to the other in all of life. That is just the way that it looks from my perspective.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, have
All
a great,
right,
yeah,
Cinnamon, it was good talking to you as usual.
you too. Yeah. Thank you, my friend. Had a blast with you as usual.
All right, thank you for watching. We'll be back probably next week. Have a
Sounds
good day.
good.